So this time I decided to do a tutorial for drawing hands. I've done some before, but I've been getting a lot of requests to do a hand tutorial again. So I decided to go back and do another one for that. And so this time I chose 5 different references to use from. I think I got all 5 of these off of Pinterest and I tried to pick a few that were a couple that were easy and then some that were difficult. I mean, it all depends on your skill level for creating it and using it to make shapes and stuff like that. And also, I will be having a Patreon soon. And I know I've been getting a lot of requests for having a Patreon and having tutorials to have on that, only because I know some videos that I make on here, sometimes you won't see them based on the algorithm, but on Pinterest, any tutorial I make based on the subscription that everyone will have, you'll see all my videos, and I'll try to post weekly, as I progress through that. But that'll be coming soon. And so right now for this pose, I chose one that has the hand pointing, and I tried to figure out where the shapes were for this. And I think I've mentioned before in other videos when I'm drawing poses and I'm drawing hands in those videos where I'm just creating cylinders for each of the fingers. And when I'm making those cylinders, I'm trying to figure out where the position is and where everything is faced. And it's kind of like a way for me to draw or figure out where everything is going to go. Sometimes I can draw a hand and I'm using the gestures or things like that to kind of draw the shapes out faster. But I like to, especially drawing hands, draw out the shapes first because sometimes the shapes are kind of an easy way to figure out how to, figure out the position of where the hand is, and kind of like you're making a 3D shape to kind of figure out how things are placed, especially if you're adding in the fingernail and things like that. And in this way, when I'm adding in these shapes, I can kind of go back, erase over it, and add in details to kind of figure out, where everything is. And since everything is all already placed out with the shapes, I can easily go back and try to, see the outline that I have and try to add in those details to know where to add the wrinkles and things like that to finish it off. You see, right now I'm just adding in darkening the lines, adding in just slight wrinkles. I wouldn't really go much further than this. I'll kind of this will kind of be like almost like a stopping point to where I'll end up erasing it and going in details. So right now I'm just, making sure my eyes can get the gist of it and know what's going on. So now for this one, I chose the classic fist. And there's different ways to drawing the fist. A lot of people will always have a hard time drawing fists, and it's kind of like one of those things where you have to draw hands. I mean, if you want to be good at drawing, you have to draw the face, the feet, the hands. And the hands are like the kryptonite of an artist because of the complexity of all the different things that are going on with the hands and the fingers and things like that, and the palm and the thumb. But the more you draw the shapes to figure out where everything is placed, the easier it is to figure out, how to get the hand and draw it the way you want it. I mean, it's always going to look ugly at first, but then once you go in there and refine it, add details, and start spending a lot more time with it, it will be easier to, draw the hand out. I mean, even now when I'm drawing these pictures here, I would still think they were incomplete. I mean, I always think that my drawings are incomplete, and I always will go back and start to refine things, and I'll leave a drawing sitting there, and I'll go to sleep and wake up the next day in the morning, and then I'll see something else that I may want to add to it. Only because you're waking up with a fresh mind, so your brain is going to see things that you didn't see the day before because your brain is probably too tired to see that, and you have to get a little rest to see things that you can make changes and finish on. And you see with this one, with the fist, I didn't want to choose the main, I guess, the straightforward fist. I wanted to get the fist at the angle to kind of show how to draw that and get the shapes in for doing that. And it's kind of a way it's always good to practice drawing different angles. You can draw the fist straight forward and, the hand face forward to the screen without any position, but it's always I like to practice doing it in weird angles and positions. I think the fastest way for me to draw hands or heads or anything is for me to draw at weird angles. That's why I like to draw poses, dynamic poses in weird perspective. It's kind of a easy way for me to draw that because I can easily just draw a pose, face head on. I mean, but the hardest ones to do are always the ones that are in foreshortened in these dynamic foreshortened perspective angles. I like doing those. Now for this one, same thing for the fist. The fist is kind of like in a weird close-up angle, and I wanted to kind of show how I would approach that drawing this fist. And it's kind of a faster, easier fist to do, only because there's not much you can see because the fist is right into the camera, and since the camera can't really see on the other side, you're really just drawing in what's up front, and it's kind of a hard angle to draw depending on how you're drawing it. As you see, when I did this, I started out with kind of like a box, and I kind of just I made the box, I rounded the box, and because the the where you see in the fist there is kind of like it's like a box, but it's kind of like going smaller at the bottom, and then it's kind of coming out wide. And I kind of wanted to draw like the box shape like that first, and then start going in and adding in the circle for the knuckles, and then going in with that. And it's always easy for me to add circles to the knuckles on creating the box shapes because I can figure out and know where the fingers are going to be placed. So right now I'm adding in, and this one I started to add in some shading only because I felt that it didn't look right if I didn't add any shading to it. So I wanted to drop in some shading to it. So some of them you'll see me add shading to it just because I feel like it don't look right unless I add shading to it. Because sometimes when you're drawing hands in the beginning stages, it always looks funny until you start to finalize a little bit more to make it look more like a hand. Even with the head too, and the bodies and pretty much anything you draw. And now for this one, I chose because it was a hand holding something. And I know I've drawn poses before with figures holding swords and weapons and things like that. This one I drew with the holding a pencil, since I'm more focused on drawing the hand. And so now with this one, you can approach it multiple different ways. And I decided to start this one off with drawing the pencil first and drawing the hand around it, only because I wanted to draw the hand how it would touch the pencil. It's kind of like you're drawing the object first, and then you're drawing whatever body part that you're drawing holding that particular object, because you're showing it's a way, it's kind of a way to force me to add weight to what I'm drawing. Like when you're drawing a guy holding a hammer, I may draw the hammer first and then have the guy holding the hammer later on, because it's like you're showing kind of like the weight of him holding that hammer, and you're forcing yourself to draw the arm in certain positions because you can't go but so far. And so right now you see me, the fingers are already connected. I'm adding in the fingers down as I go. You can see on some of them I like to add the tip of the finger first, and that's another method for me to draw fingers. I'll add the tip first, then I'll go back and start to add the cylinders as I'm going backwards into the palm of the hand. So I'm adding that connection right there. I'm adding in the palm. And usually when I'm doing the palm of the hand, sometimes I like to add circles. I'll add 2 circles and one little weird oval shape on the top of the palm before I start adding in the fingers. And I'll do that method also. You see me doing that a few times. So I'm going in, I'm just adding in the lines, trying to add a little more details to it. And with that one, even though I can still see where the hand connects, but since the picture has like a little shadow there, I'll just add like a little shadow to it. It's like a little cross hatching. I don't think I get too crazy with cross hatching. I just added a little bit, just add that shadow and complete it a little bit more, so it won't look too funny. And darkening the lines. And even at this stage, I would take it, erase over it lightly, and go over it to add in some finer details to it. This is always the main first stage before you go into adding in those finals to it. And sometimes when you add shading to it, you can shade lightly if you want, especially if you're trying to figure out where the shadows are and things like that. Because sometimes I'll add shadows that might not be in the reference, and I'll just add it to the picture just because maybe the shadows will make the picture better. I mean, it still has to make sense, but you know, sometimes you may want to exaggerate a little bit to make it a little better. Now for this one, I chose because on this one the fingers are going all crazy. You have one finger going at the bottom, one finger going up. You got two that's kind of like I guess was in like a claw type of shape. But I chose this one just so you can see how to do the fingers in different positions. And with that, the way to figure out that is just by making the cylinders. And the cylinders, especially if you draw the cylinders in different positions in 3D, you'll know how to place it when you're doing a finger. Like as you see me doing right here. Since that one's going kind of like out, I'll draw the whole thing or the whole finger, and I'll just add cylinders as I go inside of it to kind of give it that 3D shape, just so I can kind of easily figure out where to place add the finger to it, or well, not the finger, but the fingernail. And I got the one going straight up. It's kind of like going down a little bit, and it's kind of going into the back of the hand, which I add the other cylinder. And I got that one going straight up, and I kind of just almost like you're attaching a toy almost, or putting together a toy. So I got that part at the top of it where I see the picture is kind of rounded, so I add like a rounded into that just to give it that 3D shape for making the finger look like it's retracting into like a little claw. And this one, I think I erased it because it was too close and it was out a little bit further. So same thing, added the little kind of like a little similar piece, like as if I'm attaching it, adding it the same way. And the more you draw shapes, I guess the more you draw the cylinders this way, it will make it a lot easier to draw hands when you want to add in the details and make it look like an actual hand. And this is more of a construction phase. I like to construct the hands first before I start to go in and add in details to create the actual hand. Because if it looks like a hand in the construction phase, it's going to look like a hand when you add details to it, especially when you're starting out. And then the more you add construction to creating the hand in different positions, the easier it is to just draw the hand straight out without having to add the construction lines at all to create the hand. You'll be able to just draw it straight out. But to create that muscle memory and seep into your head, into your brain, that this is the way the hand moves and operates, you have to draw from reference as much as you can and absorb that, drawing the shapes and trying to figure out how to position it to kind of get it into your head. That way you can just draw it straight out, because you can't just draw it from memory unless you see it. If you see it, then you'll be able to draw it. I know a lot of artists will say, "Oh, I draw from memory." But yeah, you draw from memory because you've seen it before. You can't just draw from memory of something you haven't seen. That's why I'm adding in a little shading in there to kind of add a little more depth to it, just to finalize the hand. Because I always like to add in a little cross hatching. I think this I'm only going in one direction, but sometimes I'll cross hatch in different directions just to, especially if I'm making a line or the shadow's darker. But that's it with this video. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like button, comment for anything else you want to see, and take care.